Hi everyone, my name is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to all of the 5 Goodwill outlet locations in Houston, Texas. The Goodwill outlet is also known as the bins, where you can buy everything for a flat price per pound. So in Houston it is $2.19 per pound. The point of this video is 1, to go thrifting because that's fun, and also because I am a reseller. I will resell these items on places like Poshmark and Mercari. 2, I want to figure out which one is the best location in Houston, Texas, since there are 5. Do you guys know of any other city that has 5 outlet locations? Let me know in the comments down below. I have a few different criteria of determining which one will be the best one, so stay tuned for that. But now let's go ahead and head to the first location. Alright, first stop is going to be the Greens Point location because 1, they open up the earliest. They open at 8 a.m. and we are starting this bright and early in the morning. My criteria for this video is to 1, be able to find at least 10 items that can profit me more than $25 per location. 2, I'm only going to be giving each location an hour max, or at least 1 full rotation of bins. And 3, we're just gonna kind of rate each one based on the store, the cleanliness, the type of people there, you know, kind of the culture of each location. Looks like we're pulling up to the first location. Just made it to our first Goodwill bins location. This is the one out in Greens Point. It is relatively new. I have been here before. I haven't been here in a while. It was actually my last, I think it's only been my only thrift with me at the Goodwill bins before. So anyways, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna do an hour max, or we're gonna do 1 full rotation, see how it is. My goal is to get at least 10 items that can make me at least $25 in profit. If I can get more, then even better. But before we go in there, we're gonna go ahead and thank today's sponsor. This video is kindly sponsored by Flyp, where you can sell and source your inventory right from the comfort of your own home. And now they are also a 100% free service provider for all of your favorite automation tools like cross-listing and Poshmark sharing. Flyp is all about powering the reseller revolution, whether you're someone who just wants to make some side cash from purging their closet, or if you're an independent entrepreneur like myself who is looking to integrate risk-free consignment into their business, or if you're just simply looking to save on monthly business expenses by switching to free automation tools, then you guys definitely need to try out Flyp. And if you've been a longtime viewer of my channel, then you've already heard me raving about Flyp for quite a while now. But if this is the first time you're hearing about Flyp, then I will have a full breakdown of all of the videos that I've done with them in the description, where I deep dive into how to sell your items on Flyp and also how to source items on Flyp, where it's completely risk-free inventory for you as a reseller. And I've also recently done a video with them announcing their 100% free automation tools. With the cross-lister, you can go ahead and import all of your listings from Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace, and soon you'll also be able to do Depop, Etsy, and Shopify. And with the Poshmark share, you can of course do your sharing, you can do your auto offers, bulk offers, and then you can also do like automated following of other people if that is something that you're interested in. Make sure to check out those videos after you watch today's video, and without further ado, let's head back to our thrifting adventure. All right, we are about to walk into the first Goodwill. I got my GoPro ready. It's kind of like strapped between my not my bra straps, my purse straps. Hopefully nobody gets on to me for filming in there. If anybody does, I'll make sure to blur them out, but wish me luck, you guys. Right, heading on in. I got there about 8:30 in the morning and there were just a handful of people in there. It wasn't too crowded yet. I went to the first bin I saw full of shoes and saw these Sorels sitting on top. It looks like somebody probably threw them back because the front laces were missing. All they really need is a good clean in those laces, and they should sell for about $45 to $50 for me. I then saw these calf hair little pointed toe heels and thought I should probably check this brand out. I've never heard of it before. It's called Gabriella Rocha, I think is how you would pronounce it. I think it's sold at 9 West, or it's a 9 West type of brand. So I went ahead and put them in my cart to check out the comps later. I then saw these little UGG looking shoes. So I pulled them, and it's actually the brand Kookaburra by UGG. So it's just a little bit more of an affordable version of UGG, I guess. These little boots with the bows, I know do well with the normal UGG brand, so I thought I would put them in my cart to see what they will most likely resell for me for later. Here's a good tip for big, tall boots. Unzip them all the way and check the brand at the bottom. Those weren't any good, so I went ahead and put them back. I moved to the side and checked out a few more pairs. I picked up these Toms, but I had to remind myself I needed to try and make at least $25 in profit per item, and Toms unfortunately have only been selling for about $10 to $15 for me lately, so I threw them back. Alright, so that first bin was picked through, so we're gonna head on to the next shoe bin that I find. Alright, here we are. Just gotta chuck around a few on top to see if there's anything that looks good. I saw these wedges with the color, the avocado green, which is kind of like a 70s look, and it's from the brand Seychelles, so I know that brand does well for boots, so I put it in my cart to see if the comps look good. All right, we went ahead and moved on to a clothing bin, and right on top I saw this texture, similar kind of olive green, and it was the brand Madewell, which still does well for me. So I went ahead and put it in the cart to see if this style would fetch me my $25 profit. All right, digging through the bin, I don't like to wear gloves because I like to feel everything. So I found this one piece. It's 100% silk. It's vintage. It's by the brand Maggie London, but I just really like the bright royal blue with the floral embossing throughout. So I went ahead and grabbed that, and then later found the skirt in that bin, but I think I turned off the camera. And I've checked out this loft shirt. Depending on the material, I will pick up loft, but ended up putting it back because it wasn't anything good. Likewise, these Columbia fleeces only sell for like 10 or 15 bucks now, so I went ahead and put that back. And sometimes Mac Studio can do well depending on the style and the material, but that one didn't pan out, so I went ahead and put that back as well. All right, moving along, you can see I found a few other things. Going to another shoe bin, and right off the bat I saw these Steve Madden Trupa combat boots. The only reason I know this style off the bat is because I've sold it before, and I know a lot of people will pass up on Steve Madden, but these are 100% genuine leather, and I liked the aged kind of patina to the leather. Oh, and then I also found these Birkenstocks on top, so I went ahead and of course put that in the cart. That's always a good $30 to $40, even with those worn sandals. Anyways, back to these boots. I went ahead and checked out the inside, and everything looked good. I went ahead and put those in my cart because I know I will be able to probably sell this for about $35 to $45, and in the past I have sold them for I think close to $50 because the condition was good. I went ahead and grabbed these Clarks to see if they will produce the profit that I want to run comps later. Sometimes Clarks do well, sometimes they don't, so definitely run your comps on the style that you're picking up. The rest of that bin was not too good, so I moved on to the next one where there were some purses, and then I saw this Bionic tennis shoe and went ahead and put the single in my cart, hopefully finding the next one, but I unfortunately never did. All right, moving on to some clothing bins. I wasn't having a whole lot of luck with clothing. I had way more luck with shoes at this location. Just digging through it to see if I could find anything that looks like it can profit me at least $25. I found this vintage, probably 90s, late 90s, early 2000s Jan Sport type of coat. I liked it. I like the style. I think the style is in, but I didn't know about the red, so I went ahead and ran some comps on it and decided to leave it behind because it just looks like the pastel vintage Jan Sport jackets are doing well. But other than that, I did find a few other clothing items that I will show you guys when we do a thrift haul in the next video. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out so we can hurry up and get to the next bins. Goodwill bin's done. That one was pretty good. I had the best luck with shoes, and vintage items. Granted, I didn't go through a lot of the clothing piles because, sorry, it's hot. Ugh. I didn't go through a lot of the clothing bins because of the time limit I was trying to set myself on. I am about 30 minutes overdue. I should already be at the next one, so I kind of need to move with a quickness. But overall, not very clean. People were polite. I mean, no Goodwill bins is that clean, but it was kind of trashy moving. Like literally there's trash like out everywhere in front of the Goodwill bins. I think I found about 15 or 16 items and about 20 pounds worth of stuff. Paid about 40 some odd dollars. We'll do a running total at the end. But shoes and vintage wear seem to be pretty good, and nobody questioned me about filming, so that was nice. So let's go ahead and move on to the next Goodwill bins and start racking up these receipts. On to the next Goodwill bins, which is the one on the southeast side, which I've actually been to before with my friend Mackenzie, which you guys probably know her, McThristy, here on YouTube. So I'm gonna go there. I haven't told her that I'm doing this video, so if we run into her, that'll be exciting. I did tell her that I wanted to link up again soon, but I'm just on such a time crunch that I don't think I would have time to like chit chat and hang out as much as I would want to. Okay, we got 30 minutes to go. I kind of planned the route to where I could hit the closest one, the farthest one, and then all the other ones are up as I head back north to go home. Alright, so we just got to the Sabo location. I've been here before. It doesn't look too busy. There aren't too many cars in the parking lot. When I was driving, you guys, there was somebody driving crazy, and I like turned to look left really quickly, and I think I gave myself whiplash. So there's that. So I'm about to head in. I am going to set, it's 10:51. I'm going to set a timer actually for 45 minutes. As soon as I walk in, so that way I have 15 minutes to kind of look at my stuff, decide if it's going to make me $25 or more, and so I can go ahead and drive to the next location. So let's go ahead and head in here and see what we can find. All right, heading in to the Sabo location. We'll go ahead and call it that. It was actually pretty busy. I got the last cart. Overall, this location is pretty clean, at least the first time I went and now the second time that I'm here. But went over to this bin because these multicolored slippers kind of caught my attention. I've never heard of the brand before. LAMO Juarez, and they're known for these yarn style boots. However, after running comps on them, it looked like I was probably only going to be able to sell them for about $15 on average. I ended up putting them in my basket and ran the comps at the end of this trip, but did end up leaving them behind. Since shoes did well for me at the last location, I figured I might as well go ahead and keep with the trend. Found some men's Timberland loafers. I wasn't exactly sure what the style was, so I just went ahead and put them in my cart to check them at the end. Went through some clothing. There was a lot to go through, and honestly my neck was kind of hurting, so I decided to skip on that bin of clothing and go and check out all the other shoe bins to see if I could score anything good. The next shoe bin, I ended up finding these Fly London shoes. Unfortunately, it was just only one Fly London shoe, which is the bane of your existence when you are shopping at the bins. Of course, if you find a good single shoe, put it in your cart because you never know, you might find the other pair hidden somewhere else. But I wanted to show it in this video because Fly London is a good brand to look out for if you plan on reselling it. But they also just make really great quality shoes if you wanted to keep them for yourself. But throughout the rest of my trip there, I stayed on the lookout for that other Fly London, but unfortunately never found it. So I went ahead and targeted all the other shoe bins. And as I went to go look for another one, a new rotation just came out. So I went ahead and hopped over to that shoe bin and found these were some Circus by Sam Edelman, some very unique graffiti style boots. Grabbed those. Found some new Attack Asics type of sport shoes. A little bit hectic. There were a lot of other resellers there. I could hear the chit chatter of them talking about what was good and what wasn't good. Went over to the clothing bin, started going through that. This was kind of the only space that I had. Found this Silk Blend Banana Republic, just kind of a basic long sleeve tee, but because of the material content and like that nice neutral kind of color, I went ahead and grabbed it to run comps to see if it would fit my profit range. All right, and then I went ahead and checked out some other shoes to see if I could find anything. It was a little hectic, and of course still on the hunt for that other Fly London, but to no avail. I did end up finding these little kids hunter boots, and these are, you know, one of the few types of kids things that I will pick up. I usually will pick up kids shoes if they are in good enough condition or if they're a good enough brand. I figured these hunter boots would for sure get me that $25 profit on those. Hunter boots are great for, you know, of course, men, women, and for kids as well. I went ahead and checked out some other clothing bins with another rotation that ended up coming out while I was there. I put in a men's Columbia fishing shirt into my cart to check the comps later because I know some will do well, and since this was a new rotation, I kind of wanted to move with a quickness. I found these little hidden cheetah coat shoes that I went ahead and put in my cart to check out the comps at the end. Found some shorts and found myself a cute little crop top in a neutral color that I just love, so I went ahead and put that in the cart. Went and checked out more shoes. I saw these Blowfish sandals, and sometimes this Blowfish brand can do well. You might be able to get about $20 for these sandals, but I thought with just this style in particular, I probably would only get about $10 to $15, which if that is your business model, then it can do well. Oh, and then I found these And Other Story leather loafers. I immediately picked them up and knew that they were a for sure win. These will definitely profit me at the bare minimum $50, if not more. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go through my entire cart. This is what I do at the end of all of my bins trips. I found this one puffer jacket during a rotation that people just kept throwing aside. It says RLX on the front, which is Ralph Lauren. So I checked out the material tag. It had down and goose feathers in it. So I went ahead and ran comps, and it retails for over $200, and I should be able to resell it for anywhere from $80 to $100. So that was for sure a great find. Went ahead and went through everything, chucked back some things that I knew for sure were only going to get me 10 or 15 bucks. I ended up running comps on these vintage coat shoes. There is a red mark on the back of one of the heels, but I might be able to get it out. But based on my comps, I should be able to make a profit of about $30, I believe, on these. So I went ahead and took the gamble and kept those in my cart. Went through some more clothing, put some stuff back, checked back those boots from earlier, and those little kid bear paws were only going to sell for about $10 to $15, so I put those back. Then I also put back these leopard coach loafers. They were authentic, but they were just too beat up for me to resell, so I put those back. And then I ran some comps on these new Attack Asics shoes, and they were some men's wrestling shoes, which should sell for about $35 to $40. These are some Circus by Sam Edelman graffiti boots, and those I should be able to resell anywhere from $30 to $40. Here's a bolo for you guys. It's actually a maternity brand called Lala Boo. This is called the Soothe shirt, which is like a baby wrapping shirt. It retails for about 75 bucks, but the resale value is really great with this brand, so I should still be able to make $40 to $50 on it. And finally, I picked up a few extras. This was a Loft Lounge textured button front shirt. Should be able to get 15 to 20 on it. And then I got a Victoria's Secret Sport built-in broad gym top, which should sell for about $15 to $20 as well. I just finished up at the one at Sabo, and it wasn't the best. There were a lot of other people in there, maybe resellers, and I just couldn't find a whole lot of good stuff. It was a lot of digging. I did end up getting 12 pounds plus a book just for me to style. I think I found a few good things. I found a puffer jacket from Ralph Lauren that people just tossed over because I don't think they knew the logo, and other stories, little loafers that I think are going to do very well, along with like some kids' hunter boots. And just a few other little odds and ends. Not a whole lot there. And I did end up busting time again because I was trying to find some Fly London shoes, the matching pair, because that would have been great, but I could not find the matching pair to save my life. So I had to leave it there. It's probably in somebody's cart that was also like waiting till the end to find it. So such is life. We're gonna head to the third outlet, which is the one over on Jessner. Alright, you guys, we made it to the one on Jessner. I didn't realize that my camera was overexposed this entire time, so hopefully I can make use out of my clips thus far. This one already looks extremely packed. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. It might be a quick adventure depending on how many people are here and if anybody has an issue with me filming, but wish me luck. Hopefully I can still find 10 items that can profit me at least over $25 a piece. Let's go. Alright, heading in, and I could just tell it was so packed in there. There wasn't a cart available at all. So I went ahead and made my way to the back, which is actually where the lines started to check out, because I figured maybe some people threw some good stuff back. So I went ahead and went over there. The first bin that I went to, I saw this window pane pattern and thought it might be good, but it wasn't any good brand. And then I saw what looked like a hand knit item of some sort. So it ended up being a scarf from the brand Erin Crafts, which is made in Ireland. And it is 100% wool, hand knit in Ireland. This brand I have heard of before, but their sweaters are more like bolos. But I figured this scarf could still do pretty well. Maybe get about $20 to $25 out of it. So I went ahead and put it in my bag. Moving on, there was a shoe bin, my favorite. So I went ahead and started digging. And I ended up finding these A Solo hiking shoes. And I guess people here didn't know what this brand was, but it is an outdoor hiking type of brand, which you guys know I love. My husband actually owns a pair of A Solos, and let me tell you, they are very pricey retail. So I knew I didn't even need to run comps on these to know I could make at least 50, 60 bucks on them. However, it was a bit of a hunt to find the other matching pair, but luckily I went and checked the next bin and did end up finding it right next door. So that's a good little hack for you guys if you are in the bins, and if you're looking for a matching pair of some shoes, definitely check the neighboring bins because they might have been tossed when the rotation came out. All right, moving on to some clothing bins. You guys, my neck was still hurting, so I didn't go too crazy into these bins like I normally would. I was kind of just scraping like the top surfaces of them, to be completely honest. I did end up finding this Urban Outfitters kind of waffle knit thermal top. I didn't know if it would make me, you know, that $20, $25 profit range, but I went ahead and put it in my bag because it was in good condition and figured I could run comps at the end. I usually check the inside tag as well to see if there's a style number on it to make running comps a little bit easier, and thankfully there was. Moving on to another shoe bin, and right off the bat I found these cute little baby Keens. If you guys aren't familiar with Keens, these should definitely be on your must pick up list. Some can go for more money than others, but they are a solid, fast flipper, whether they're kids, men's, or women's. These kids actually, believe it or not, will still sell for about $20, $25 sometimes depending on the size. So I went ahead and found the other matching pair and put those in my bag because figured those would definitely be able to sell pretty quick for me, especially seeing that spring and summer are right around the corner.
I did end up seeing these all bird wool sneakers, and this brand is good, which is why I'm gonna keep it in this video to let you guys know about it. If you find these in good condition, definitely pick them up, but unfortunately these had some holes in the toes, and that's not in my toolbox of skills yet, so I had to leave them behind. I went to the next bin and saw these little suede booties, and these are by the brand Kate Spade, which is primarily known for her purses and sometimes dresses. Her shoes can sell, but they definitely don't churn the same amount of resale value as like her purses, for example. But I went ahead and put them in my bag anyway, since I knew I was kind of on a crunch time and it looked like there were slim pickings because there were a ton of people here. Next, I found this interesting top. There was a clasp closing it in the front, kind of had like a suede panel on it and some kind of sheer detailing on the back. The brand is Ecru, E-C-R-U, which can do well. I did find some pants the other week that I still need to list. Go ahead and put it in my bag to run some comps because I thought maybe it could sell for at least $20 or $25. I went to another bin and saw this spade detailing on a jacket. Thought maybe some more Kate Spade, but no, this was actually just from the brand The Limited, which is a mall brand, and it was not something that I wanted to pick up at this time, so I left it behind. Did a little digging and I found this Victoria's sports bra. Kind of has a navy blue pink leopard design, and these Victoria's sports bras do well for me. They're a fast flip, but still will only sell for about 15 to 20 bucks, but I went ahead and picked it up anyway because it was still going to make in the general ballpark of what I wanted to make. And then in that same bin, I found these Madewell light wash denim shorts. Madewell is a brand that still does pretty well for me. And since spring and summer are right around the corner, I figured I would definitely pick up these shorts. Should be able to sell them for about, the $20 to $25 range. And I was checking for the style name, or at least a style number, and I did find it. So that will make finding the style name and stock photos much easier. It was so busy that I really didn't have anywhere to go through my bag at the end, so I just kind of found a quiet spot on the floor and went through it on my own. I made a little pile of things to for sure keep and things to run comps on and put back. I did end up putting that Ecru shirt back because there was a stain on it that I didn't initially see, so I went ahead and put that back. I did end up picking these vintage Vivace Moda heels just to see if they were any good, but after running comps, it didn't look like they were selling for much money, so of course I went ahead and put them back. Double checked the bra for any flaws, it was good, and then of course these Keens were a for sure pickup and they were in good condition as well. I didn't have this filmed, but I did find this silk Alice and Olivia dress. It kind of had a cool tropical jungle print on it. I couldn't find this exact style with my initial comps, but I know this brand does well, and I knew as long as I modeled it for Poshmark that it will most likely sell for at least the $50 to $60 range, so I went ahead and of course picked that up. I ran comps on the Urban Outfitters waffle knit top, and unfortunately it looked like it was only going to sell for about $10 to $15, so I went ahead and put it back. After going through everything, I did end up only getting about 8 items from this location and went ahead and got in line to check out, and man oh man, that line was long.
All done at Jessner, and I think it kind of was a bust. I don't even think I got 10 items. I paid $14.98 and got 6 pounds. I honestly think my best find might have been some Kate Spade heels that I need to clean up desperately. I guess because I was scraping to find stuff, I ended up getting stuff that I know I'm probably only going to be able to sell for like 15 bucks. I think only 2 items were like a $15 sale. But yeah, now I need to head over to the Long Point bins to meet Camilla. Location over at Long Point, and I think I got the best spot in the parking lot. first one up here. So I'm gonna go in there and meet Camilla. I have been in here before with Mackenzie, so hopefully I can find good stuff. It does seem very packed, and it's 2:45 p.m. on a Tuesday, so we will see what we find.
All right, heading into Long Point Bends, and it is definitely very packed and definitely a bit dirty. Everybody's been there throwing stuff around on the floor today. There were so many people that it was hard for me to find Camilla at first, but then I found her. I made it! Good, we got a huge pile! I figured you were over there. I came in and there was like, I'm sure she's over there somewhere, but I just couldn't see you. So
I know, I was going crazy. There was a really good bin and I just, yeah.
Ah, what did you get? Any good stuff just now? Oh, stop.
This lady, whoever, I think it was all from one lady, whoever she was, she loved velvet.
Oh,
I picked up
that's
like, all the
nice.
velvet stuff, so place that with like.
I was like, but I made that. They're like, not anymore. That's going to Goodwill.
No.
Red lines, everybody.
You gotta be behind the red line.
So we basically just chatted the whole time while we dug through the new rotation of bins. We'd find one shoe, but then couldn't find the other, so we would be on the hunt for one and then just could never find it, unfortunately.
I think sometimes they purposefully hide the other one so that way you have to dig. Found a pair. Yes. Yikes. I feel like I need to protect you.
No.
Is it like my mothering instinct?
Got a broken foot?
Is that a broken foot?
I didn't film a whole lot here because we just hung out the whole time. I found 3 items: this altered state kind of boho fringe cardigan, these curvy super high-rise jeggings, and then a pair of women's chacos.
Done at the Long Point Bends. I ended up just chatting with Camilla pretty much the whole time. So I only found 3 items from when I was looking. I did find a few other things, but it was too damaged and it was definitely not going to make me the amount that I wanted. So I think each thing should at least get me at least 20 bucks from this, and I only spent 20 bucks each rather. And I only spent $7.69 on 3 items. But I have been to this location before and it is really good. I think the key here is to get here. The earlier the better, and the longer you can stay. I'm kind of learning that too with this Ben's adventure. This is tiring, the commuting, the going around. So I'm sure you guys probably already know this, but probably stick to one and go there for the day, because I am about beat. But we have one more Goodwill bin store to go. Like I promised for this video, we are gonna head over to the Cypress store, which I believe is the newest one, and hopefully we can find some good stuff. Maybe we'll find a little bit more there to make up for the lack of items that I found here. But anyways, it was so fun to meet Camilla. We had a blast. I was only there for about an hour with her, but we just laughed the whole time. And then King showed up towards the end, and he, poor thing, he just got off of work. But I was leaving and they were just digging through the bins. But if you guys are into reselling, definitely go and check out their channel. It'll be linked in the description below. They are awesome, and I look forward to going and having dinner with them soon, where we can actually talk and not worry about working and talking at the same time. So, all right, now we're off to the Cypress bins. All right, just got to the final Goodwill bins outlet here in Cypress. Ooh, that sun is bright. Hopefully I can find at least 10 things that can make me a $25 profit or more. Hopefully I can find a little bit more than 10 things, since the last one I didn't do so well. Yeah, we'll go in there and see what we can find, and then I kind of actually need to hurry and make this about a 30-minute trip, because I need to start heading back home.
All right, headed into the Cypress bins, and right off the bat, it was not very crowded at all. Granted, I was there later in the evening, about 4:30, I believe is when I got there. So I went ahead and went to some clothing bins, and right off the bat, I found a men's Columbia heavyweight flannel. I've sold this one in the past. I think the style name, if I remember correctly, is Boulder Ridge or Mountain Ridge or something like that, and it should sell for about $20 to $25 for me. So that was a for sure pickup. I'm definitely not afraid to pick up men's clothing. Went ahead, kept digging through the bins to see if I saw anything, and also a reminder that my neck was still killing me. So I did a lot of grazing the surface and not digging too deep into the bins. I checked out this sweater, and it did have an okay material blend. There was wool in it, but the brand was nothing that I've ever heard of before. Retrod, something like that. And so I just left it behind. I then found this white plaid scarf, which this kind of colorway of plaid is in. It's a scarf. It'll probably only yield me about a $10, maybe $15 sale if I'm lucky. But I just went ahead and threw it in my cart and thought I would decide on it later. Moving on, I found another men's heavyweight flannel plaid button up. This one is from the brand Jacques, I think is maybe how you pronounce it, hopefully. I have sold this brand before, and it is about a solid $20 sale. I then saw what looked like a Johnny Was piece, but unfortunately it was not. It was a boutique brand called Savannah Jane. Based on style, I went ahead and grabbed it because I did think it would, yield me that $20 to $25 profit. Next, I found this really interesting laser cut suede leather jacket. It's the brand Boston Proper, which is a catalog brand and usually sells very quickly for me every time I pick it up. It is an older tag, so I'm not entirely sure on this. I didn't find too many comps right off the bat, but did find some later when I got home. And it does look like this piece should sell for about $30 to $40. Found something that felt like wool, but it wasn't. It's actually 100% acrylic, but it is a vintage brand. It's called Zeppelin. And it is a cream of the crop type of grandpa's sweater. This is something that I definitely need to model, but will definitely yield about a $30 to $40 sale. Continuing on, I didn't really have a whole lot more of luck, and I was kind of running out of time. So I went ahead and headed to the checkout. All right, so we just wrapped up at the Cypress Goodwill bins. They didn't have any new rotations in like the 45 minutes that I was there, which is kind of a bummer, but it is also like 5 p.m. I did find a few good things, but nothing to write home about. But some items that will still sell for like $15, $20, which, I guess is better than nothing. I don't want to waste my time completely. Anyways, having to head home now, and then it'll probably be the next day, but in the next clip you will see me break down everything from today's adventure. All right, it is now a few days later, and I was worn out going to all 5 of those bins in one day. Kind of crazy. Might not recommend it. You'll get a little drained, but it was still fun nonetheless, and it was fun to kind of challenge myself. So I have my numbers here for you guys. I have my items sorted, gone through, everything's been researched, priced accordingly, all comps have been ran, waiting to do a thrift haul for you guys. So you're gonna have to stay tuned for my next video. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss that thrift haul where I give you every little nitty-gritty detail you could ever imagine. But real quick, we'll do the totals to see if I met my goal. So I went to 5 bins location. The first one was Greens Point. I ended up getting 16 items to resell, so I was 6 over, and the profit per item ended up coming out to $24.54. So I'm like 50 cents short, but I was so close. I think I'm gonna call that good enough. So at $24.54 for 16 items, I'm expecting to make a profit from Greens Point of $392.64. The second thing I was basing each location on was the time spent. I did end up spending an hour and a half at Greens Point and about 2 rotations, even though I didn't participate in the second rotation. And finally, I wanted to rate each location based on busyness, cleanliness, and culture. So Greens Point, I gave a 4.5 out of 5 for busyness. I thought it was great. Cleanliness was 2 out of 5. There was a ton of trash out front, so that was something I guess they could probably work on. And then the culture was a 4.5 out of 5 stars because everybody there was very nice and friendly, and they have been in the previous times that I've been as well. So overall, I gave Greens Point a 3.66 out of 5 stars.
The second location was the Sabo location, which is in the southeastern side of Houston. I ended up getting 11 items to resell there, so I definitely got more than my 10, so check on that. And then the profit per item ended up breaking down to $25.72. So also another check mark there. I hit both of those goals.
The 11 items to resell at $25.72 is going to yield me a profit of $282.92. I did end up spending about an hour there and one full rotation. Busyness was a 3 out of 5. Cleanliness a 4 out of 5. The culture was a 3 out of 5 because there were quite a bit of resellers there. So overall, they got a 3.33 out of 5 stars from me.
The third location was the Jessner location, and that is kind of like in the heart of Houston, very busy. I only ended up getting 8 items to resell, so I did not meet my first goal of getting 10 items per location. However, even though I didn't get my 10 items, my profit per item ended up breaking down to $28.13 per item. So if you want to know how I came up with that figure, definitely stay tuned for my next video where I give you all the details.
So with the 8 items at $28.13, the total profit at Jessner was going to be about $225.04. I did only spend about 45 minutes there, 15 minutes of which were standing in line to check out, but I wanted to be fair. I did stay for one rotation, even though I didn't participate in it. The busyness was definitely 1 out of 5 stars for me. Crazy, crazy busy there. The cleanliness was okay for the bins, 3 out of 5 stars there. Culture, I said a 2 out of 5 just because there were a ton of resellers. It was kind of hectic. People were pretty rowdy. So I definitely gave Jessner overall a 2 out of 5 stars.
The fourth location was Long Point, where I ended up meeting up with my friend Camilla. So I kind of spoiled that one because I was chit-chatting the whole time. However, I have been to that location before and it has been good in the past. But based on this trip, I only ended up getting 3 items to resell from that location, which is all totally on me. Like, there were plenty if I was there longer and wasn't talking the whole time, so that's totally on me. Profit per item ended up breaking down to $24.10, so I didn't get either of those, but I still had fun and I definitely want to go back because I have done well in the past.
All right, so the 3 items at Long Point at $24.10 should yield me a profit of $72.30. I did spend about 45 minutes there, or one full rotation that I did participate in, as you saw in the video. The busyness was a 3 out of 5. Cleanliness, pretty average, 3 out of 5 for bins, and the culture was about a 3 out of 5. So average overall, 3 out of 5 stars for Long Point.
And finally, I ended up going to the Cypress location at the end, which is the newest bins location in Houston. I ended up finding 12 items to resell, so I met that goal there. However, a lot of those items were not going to make me the ideal profit range that I wanted. So the average profit per item looks like it's going to be about $17.35 for those items from Cypress. So I didn't meet that one.
For those 12 items, I got to resell at $17.35 a piece. I should make about $208.20. I spent about 45 minutes there, but there were no new rotations. The busyness was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was great. There weren't too many people there. The cleanliness was great, probably because it's the newest outlet. So 4 out of 5 stars there. And the culture was great too. The people that worked there were nice, and the shoppers there were great as well. So overall, 4.17 out of 5 stars.
But to total it all up, between all 5 locations, I ended up getting, get this, 50 items to resell. 50. We're gonna average that out, and yes, I found my 10 items per store. And did I get my $25 profit per item? If we average it all out, I did not. Each item is going to look like it's gonna profit me about $23.96. So we'll round that up to 24, but I'm still $1 short. So really, secretly, I was like, $20. But I need to shoot higher, so that way if I fall short, I'm still kind of above my range, but whatever. For this video, I kind of failed on that part, but it was still fun nonetheless, and all those items are gonna make me a great return on my investment. So it was so much fun to do this video. I randomly came up with it. One day I'm like, dang, there's 5 bins in Houston, and I kind of want to go to all of them and see which one's the best one. So anyways, Hence this video. It was a lot of fun to make. If you want to see more videos like this one, then make sure you hit the like button. That's the best way to tell me that you want to see more videos like this. Hit it on your way out, and then also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification, because that is how YouTube will alert you when that thrift haul comes out with all the nitty-gritty details of each item that I picked up to resell, why I picked it up, what it's gonna resell for, and all of the fun little information in between. Thanks again to Flyp for sponsoring today's video, and I will catch you guys in that next thrift haul.
I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn.